Hey YouTube, petey twofinger here, back with my fourth installment on open mics. I made some videos talking about my personal experiences attending open mic sessions, which in the past have always been negative. Well, tonight we broke the cycle. We went to a jam that was hosted by Pistol Pete, who's an all-around gentleman, bluesman extraordinaire. He's a musician in the truest sense of the word. You talk about talent, I say, well, there aren't really too many talented people. A lot of us just have to work to be able to do what we can do. Pistol Pete was born talented. He's an incredible musician. Anyway, Pistol showed up. Well, he was there when we got there. He was playing his set with his drummer, his bass player. Then the drummer arrived. We were there kind of early, and I believe it was the drummer's birthday. Today or after midnight it was. So I spoke with the bass player on the first break, and we got in first. So Pistol does a incredible set, and every song keeps getting better and better and better, working the crowd into a frenzy as he knows how to do. And he's just a guitar craftsman. The guy is. Check out Pistol Pete in Westmont. I'll put a link in the description. It's when he played the first time I saw him was at the Muddy Waters thing, and Muddy Waters tribute in 2016. So you can familiarize yourself when I say Pistol Pete. You can see what I'm talking about. Donna and I followed him. He got off the stage, and we got on and played after Pistol Pete. I told him we were going to do a 15-minute tight set, which means minimal breaks in between the songs. That as soon as one song finishes, another starts. And I had that figured out because we're using backing tracks on an MP3 player of the drums. It's just a bass guitar combo. So he asked me to do 20 minutes. I obliged. We played our set. Pistol Pete was an absolute gentleman. He came in and started filming us. He was applauding. He was laughing and saying very enthusiastically how excellent it was and how much he enjoyed our performance. He was laughing. I had a song with some canned laughter and some animal noises in it. It is funny. It's a song called Free Pizza. And he was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We had kind of a cold shoulder to the bar. The people that are in there are regulars, and we've never been there, and they were just like, who are these people playing this weird music? Because we didn't play any covers. But as we kind of warmed up, and especially when Pistol was there, he started filming. He said it was awesome. He filmed both of us, and he went out on a break, and he left for a moment. When he came back in, he was very enthusiastic about what we were playing, and that kind of gave the rest of the attendees at the bar the okay, like, oh, these guys are good. Like, if Pistol loves them, we should maybe clap a little bit instead of just staring at them and glaring. Because there was one guy who was just standing there giving me the stink eye, and then I looked up and nodded at him, and then he just went back to staring at my wife. There was a couple of like mouth open, like, what is this? And then of course later on when people are playing like real jammy, meaning not that good versions of cover songs, like a kind of sounds like Santana thing that's real long, where both the bass player and the guitar player are soloing at the same time, people are dancing and clapping for that. So just a question mark for me, because the caliber of music that Donna and I delivered is far superior to what was going on later. Meaning, it took them quite a bit of time to get set up. Then there was a long discussion on how the song should be played, including playing at full volume back and forth, which is just unbelievably unprofessional. You don't do that. Donna and I immediately set up our gear, plugging in, taking a matter of seconds to a moment or so, and began our set and went completely through it like clockwork for 20 minutes is what we did. And yes, I made a couple of mistakes. Yes, Donna made a mistake. I lost my part in one song. So I was so unbelievably nervous. I haven't been on a stage, and that icy reception we got, because we're not playing covers, and they didn't. There was nobody introduced us. It wasn't like, hey, these people are cool. And I mean, Pistol didn't know. Pistol Pete just met me. I just introduced myself and kind of over enthusiastically tried to introduce myself to him, and he was like, yeah, I gotta get this stuff packed up, because it was the end of the night. As I've heard from so many musicians, when I invade their space, when they're trying to do their thing at the end of the show, and I want to quickly have some words with them. So yeah, I'm used to that. I didn't really get too far out of control the other night, but tonight, when Pistol saw us doing our thing, he loved it. And he told me, number one, we're welcome to come back at any and all of his open mic nights, because he loves what we do. He also told me that he would love for us to open up for him anytime at any gig, is what he said. Now, he was kind of goofing around with Donna that she wasn't smiling, and I'm going to get you to smile. He played a little bit of that game, but he wasn't. It wasn't something where he was going after my wife the whole time. There was a little bit of that. When he asked specifically what we were doing, because he didn't understand that Donna was playing. Like, what are you going to do? He thought I was a solo act. And I said, well, my wife plays bass. I played, and he was real receptive to it, because he is a ladies' man. I get that from Pete. So we had a real nice evening. There was none of that competitive spirit that I talked about in the other videos where I talked about open mics, where people that have psychological issues, people that are lesser men. Pistol Pete doesn't suffer from that. He's a great man, and he doesn't care. I mean, he could care less about me. I'm some guy playing with the guitar with two fingers. And as far as he knew, as far as what he told me, he loved it. And there were people that told me I was a great guitar player. I had some comments from people at the bar later when I went to get drinks. People complimenting my wife, saying they couldn't believe when I told them, well, she's never played in a bar before. So overall, it was an unbelievable success, because Pistol Pete kept taping us with his phone, and he kept clapping and laughing out loud and telling the bar how great it was, and laughing along to our last song, Free Pizza. So it was an unbelievable double thumbs up. I couldn't believe how well he took to us and how much he apparently loved what we were doing. For me, not having a father, having somebody that I've known about and looked to as a professional musician since I was a kid, I've known about Pistol Pete. I've just never seen him perform. When we saw him in 2016, and he completely blew me away. We just met him the other day on Thursday night, and I got to talk to him a little bit. The bass player invited us to come to this open mic, so we came. We played first. After the first set, we did a strong 20-minute set. I had a couple flubs in there, which you can't let that. You got to keep moving, and we got right back into the pocket, thanks to Donna. So it wasn't perfect, but what I did do was really impress Pistol Pete. And to me, like, not having a dad, like, that's looking up to somebody like this and saying how my other experiences going to open mics, it was always a real competitive thing, where the people hosting it were playing games, like turning the PA down, being rude, just nasty, just like not letting you play by yourself. They're going to be there and play on the stage with you, and then not allowing you to pick what song, just stuff like that. This was, oh, you're going to play? How long are you going to play? And I said 15 minutes. He said, could you do me a favor and make it 20? And I said, well, we could, but it's probably going to go a little bit over. So he came in and didn't stop us, and I informed him we got one more, and he said, go do your thing. And then we played Free Pizza, which was a song that he ended up really getting a kick out of because of the sound effects in it. So look for Free Pizza. We're going to be performing that live on our outdoor things. I take back everything I said about open mics with those feeble-minded, insecure guys that were running the open mics that I've been to. Fuck those people. You ain't got no time for that. We're all musicians. Somebody's more talented in one area. I'm more talented in whatever area I am. We're all human beings. None of us are made of stone. We all have our weaknesses. We all have our strong points. So let's try to build each other up rather than tearing each other down, manipulating each other. There's plenty of room for applause in a bar full of people who are drinking. They're going to give it up. They're going to applause. And let me tell you, his tip jar, you see the 20s in there?
Yeah, the first one was a 20.
Yes, his tip jar it filled up pretty quickly. And I'm embarrassed to say I only threw $1 in, but I haven't worked since. Huh? Yeah, we don't carry cash. So, met a real nice couple of young, they were older women. Real nice ladies that we met from Matheson. We had some real stimulating conversation with them as we shared a table with them. The uptown was packed, young and old in the uptown. Very difficult to get drink service, bring cash. We ran a tab. I had 3 Miller Lights, which were awful, but that's just Miller Light. Miller Light on tap just tastes terrible to me. I had 3 Miller Lights and a Coke. The tab was $13.50. It was pretty cheap, but by bar standards. But good luck getting a drink. And there's a lot of really loaded people in that bar. These people are coming there; they're already pretty much in the bag. Like drink all day and then show up and sit, so you don't have a big bar tab, which is fine. But there was another woman who got up and did a vocal performance with Pistol Pete, who got a lovely warm round of applause. And then, like I said, at the end of the night, I'm sure we didn't stick around. But that was the thing that stuck in my craw. I was complaining about it in the car, that Pistol Pete was unbelievably over-exuberant about how great we were, but he left, and it was just crickets between some of the songs. And that wasn't because we gave a poor performance. Trust me, we played note for note perfectly as we do. And we played good songs. They weren't weak material. It was prime cuts that we played tonight. So we'll see how this works out. I doubt, talking about opening up for him. He gave me his personal home phone number. So we'll see if this amounts to anything. But it was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun to get out. The act of physically playing it, I enjoyed immensely. It was awesome to be able to make music in front of some human beings in that type of sense. Because I've been doing it to the insects and the birds and the trees for so long that this was, it was great. Great to be able to play in front of some people. It feels good to sit there and do your thing. Play rock star for a minute. And I just think that we could have, I think we deserved so much more applause than what we got. But we don't play covers, and we're not regulars, and these people there was no introduction for us. So what can I say? Hey, I'm not going to let that stop me from saying I had a wonderful evening. Simply because the compliments from Pistol Pete and hearing him laugh, getting off on what we were playing, seeing him lean in to the PA speaker, trying to hear what was going on with the sound effects and the animal noises that I have. That was cool. That was really, really cool. So I take back what I said, everything about open mics being the people that run them have psychological issues and will manipulate whatever they can to make them look good and to make you look small. Somebody like Pistol Pete doesn't need to worry about what people are going to think, because he's so unbelievably good. And then having people tell me that I'm talented and I'm good is tough for me to take, because I have an insecurity complex myself. But, the idea of doing this, being crippled like I am, only being able to play with two fingers, and then to hear somebody like that tell me that I did good, that goes a long way. A long, long way. So, special thanks to Pistol Pete.